You're watching Brian's Insights, brought to you by Network 126. And this is a continuing series, so if you haven't seen parts 1 through 3, go watch them right now, or I'll find you.
Yes, this scrawny little geek will come find you. I'm MC Robin Hood of the Citizen Media Outlet, here in Project Nightwing.
With CC99 of OTP Radio and Citizen Media Outlet.
Hiding off camera because, well, she likes to be off camera.
So, to pick right back up where we left off on part 3, I was just about to bring up a comment that somebody left on part 1 before the jet rudely interrupted. Remember the jet?
There was a jet? There's a jet flying over our heads right now, people.
Yeah.
It's a jet.
It's a jet! Remember? Let's do it.
I'm not going... When the next jet passes, I might do it, but right now, there's no jet passing, so I'm not going to do the "It's a jet!" routine.
Yeah, that's what he did. He's the crazy one, not me.
I'm not crazy. I'm eccentric.
That's to say the least.
Hey, guys, you gotta have a little bit of fun sometimes. You gotta laugh it off. You know, we got a lot of problems in life. Just say screw it. Just be a fool sometimes.
So we've started the renovations in Project Nightwing. We're removing stuff still to replace it with more sustainable, lighter weight materials, the upgrades, and other such. Still haven't taken the overhead bunk out because, well, I just haven't had time yet.
So, well, I was just gonna bring up this comment real quick, and I wanted to get...
There's a comment?
Yeah, well, actually, we'll have James do it because he has this little personality thing that he does, and he'll read it real cool for you, so here you go.
I definitely feel for you and your situation. You tend to repeat that it's somehow all the economy is 92% of people are unemployed. 92% of people are unemployed? That's not right. 92% of people are employed. I think long-term unemployment can certainly lead to one feeling depressed. But even in my very high unemployment area, Taco Bell has a sign hiring people for $8.25 an hour. $8.25 an hour? What the fuck ever happened to a living wage? They can't fill the positions. If you could take a job like that and save $5 an hour to 40 hours a week, you could get into a 5K RV in 6 months. If you apply for one fast food job a day, you'll find something. Something! That's bullshit! Bullshit, man! You try and find a fucking job in this economy, you're not gonna find shit! Stop lying to people!
Yeah,
So,
that.
Basically...
So that was an actor's interpretation of a comment left on one of our previous videos.
Yes, on part 1. That's one we're just...
By no means do I consider myself an actor.
Performer, entertainer.
I'm a man of many voices and personalities. I am not schizophrenic. I do not have multiple personality disorder. I do this to entertain people. I am not an actor.
Yeah, so go check out all his stuff, his CMO report.
YouTube.com// whatever it is, Ready Set Broadcast, and CMOreport.wordpress.com.
Yeah, so go check him out. He's pretty cool.
So is CC99 at DJCC99.wordpress.com.
Yeah, the Network 126 only associates with
cool people.
Yeah. So.
Everyone's welcome. Everyone's welcome. We don't judge.
Everyone's welcome unless they're trying to spew hate speech, and then we just kick them to the curb.
There you go. Sufficient.
Sufficient? Sufficient for what?
I don't know.
Sufficient or efficient? Speaking of efficient...
Okay, anyway. People are gonna think we're like nuts, dude.
What do you mean think?
Think.
So what do you think about these people that say that there's all kinds of jobs when there aren't any jobs? Taco Bell has a sign for $8.25 an hour employees, and they can't fill the positions. And then he goes on, and you could apply for one fast food job a day, and you'll find something.
It doesn't work that way, as
Yeah.
my interpretation clearly showed. The economy right now, even if you're looking for an $8.25 an hour job, you have to be an immigrant with a visa to get the job, or have no education whatsoever, or they won't hire you because they're scared you're going to take their jobs. I've been looking for work for over a year now with the skills I have, and have found lead after lead, but nothing comes of it. So, to all of you that believe that finding a job is easy, that this economy is favorable, wake up, people.
Yeah, and what he's describing that he's been going through, I've been going through the same thing. And by the way, it's just kind of like a little brief unemployment update. I've actually found employment. I am working. It's a job polishing cars in a parking garage. It's this company, and this guy, he acquired the patents to a waterless car wash system, and so he's trying to kickstart a business based off of these patented products that he owns, and I guess it has potential because the owner, he has high profile contacts like in Hollywood and stuff, but right now it's just really slow, and he's just really struggling to pick up any kind of business. And I think he's kind of panicking right now because he's trying to promote and hand out flyers and business cards and stuff, and like I'm coming in and I'm just like standing around doing nothing. So I was limited to 10 hours a week when I started. I've only been working like less than a month as of the time of this filming, March 2013.
And to cut in for a second, promotions are my area of expertise. Marketing is my area of expertise. And
I told them about him too, to hire him.
And even if you have these expertises and you can prove that you can bring people to a business, people don't want to hire you because they're not sure that you can do what you say you can do, even though you have proof you've done it.
Now, see, I started working when I was 15, and I worked at a movie theater part-time while I was going to school, and within 9 months of starting that job, I was being promoted and groomed for a supervisory type position, and that sort of trend continued throughout the next 10 years. But, when I started working, Clinton was in office, gas was 99 cents a gallon.
Less than 99 cents a gallon.
I remember those days, but I was a kid back then.
I was 15, 16, had my first car, I was able to make the payments and insurance and gas and still have a little money to spend with my friends on the weekends. But minimum wage was $5.25 an hour at that point in time. $5.25 an hour when I was 15, 16 years old. 10 years later, I had experience in offices, customer service. Every company that I ever worked for ended up promoting me, and so I have a pretty decent resume, a pretty impressive resume. When I moved back east in 2006 or 7, just to kind of be closer to some family that had moved out that direction, I left a $14 an hour job in a call center in Phoenix to go out east, because you think these type of jobs are everywhere. But once I actually got out there, I was job searching with this resume for 3 to 4 months before finally interviewing for a customer service position at a car dealership, where the manager put down in the interview. She put down my resume, and she looks at me. She goes, "You realize this job only pays $8 an hour, right?" And I said, "Yeah. You realize every other job available for me to apply for at this point pays $7.25 an hour, right?" Because $7.25 an hour,
Wow.
10 years later, after I started working, is the minimum federal wage. The least amount of money that a company is allowed to pay you without abusing your rights according to...
Which, even in certain states, the state minimum wage is lower than $7.25 an hour at this point because they're not required to follow federal minimum wage.
So at this point, they're saying that they'll pay you a poverty wage. It literally is a poverty wage. Anyone making minimum wage is going to qualify for food stamps and the state medical, because you just can't make above the poverty level working with a single person full-time an hour at the minimum wage. It is not a living wage.
Yeah, and by the way, for people who like are commenting on my unemployment rant videos and stuff, saying go to school and all this and that, and there's people with master's degrees, even doctorate's degrees, that are in my position, his position.
I have 2 bachelor's degrees, one in computer science, the other in American literature, both with minors in film. And I can't get a job, even with my work experience doing marketing, doing graphic design, doing all the things that I have skills doing all the things I've been certified to do, because they don't want to hire someone that they're going to have to pay the proper wages.
Yep.
So right now there's a lot of people out there trying to increase the minimum wage to somewhere closer to $12 to $15 an hour, which still does not even come close to the $21 an hour that would actually be a fair living wage
In California.
compared to how the golden years of our country's economy was back in the 50s, when a CEO only made 40 times the wage of his workers rather than 400 times the wage of his workers as it is now.
Yeah, it's just really gone out of control, and there's people who think the economy is going to pick up, and they're, I guess they're just trying to be optimistic, and it's usually, I noticed, the older generation who have seen the dips and the recoveries. They're really confident. They're like, oh, don't worry, it'll pick up. Just give it some time, and the job market's resetting. And there's all kinds of opportunities, and people need to understand things are the way things are now. They've never been before. The whole system is really screwed out of whack.
They're the same generation who are living with the benefits of having purchased property back in the 60s, 70s, or earlier, when property prices were rock bottom low and you could buy a house for $30,000 that today would sell for $300,000.
And you can still buy a house today for $30,000, but it's in states like Indiana, Pennsylvania, Ohio, and they're 100-year-old houses that are so dilapidated that no one will want to live in the first place.
They've got gases leaking and, things breaking down and emitting toxic chemicals. They've got runoff from the rivers, pollution from the farms coming into the water supply. They've got fracking companies out there now breaking up the ground layer of our soil and trying to extrude gases and having it leak into people's
Drinking
water, soil, everything.
Yeah.
The air.
Yeah, it's just destroying the planet, the whole environment. It's
see
unsustainable.
A lot of articles these days about GMOs, genetically modified organisms, genetically modified foods, and we're trying to get Monsanto to admit they're chemically altering our foods, to admit that it is dangerous for our health, that they are literally killing us one step at a time, and the government is condoning it.
Yeah,
One bite at a time.
and even animals refuse to eat GMOs.
My dogs, we had to take them off of the dog food they were on because it had corn in it, GMO corn, and it was causing my red-nosed pit bull, who's always been a healthy dog, to vomit on a regular basis. This is proof that they are doing things to degrade the lives and lifestyles of the public, of the citizenry.
Yeah, it's just careless, and they don't care what they destroy. They're screwing with nature. You can't be doing that. They don't know what they're doing.
Well, anyone could argue that having air conditioning in your house is unnatural and screwing with nature. It's the degree that they take it to.
Yeah.
It's when they start splicing human genes into your ham and don't tell you about it. It's when they start
creating meat out of feces.
It's when they start putting salmon genes in tomatoes to make them redder.
Yeah. What about the Pepsi thing? You know about the Pepsi, and they supposedly use like human fetal tissue or something in part of the flavoring or something.
Sounds tasty to me.
It was really weird.
I'm kidding.
They won't allow stem cell research to save people's lives and cure a plethora of diseases, but they'll allow umbilical whatever you're talking about to go into people's food.
Look it up if you're online right there. See if there's a thing about Pepsi and fetal tissue or something.
Pepsi and fetuses. Good.
It came
My
up
name is
back.
not Hannibal Lecter, people. That is not a good idea.
I mean, when I read that, I was like, is this for real? I was like, what?
Okay, the top result from this search, the title says, Pro-lifers drop boycott after Pepsi disavows use of aborted fetal cells. I've gotta click the link to get more than that.
But there is something on it. Something happened with that.
Somebody probably put out an article stating that they used it.
Well, here, Pepsi responded as of April 30th of 2012. They said that the soft drink giant provided assurances it would no longer use an aborted fetal cell line to develop flavor enhancers.
Oh, no longer.
Yeah, so they're not doing it anymore because this church apparently outed them.
Was it the Westboro Baptist Church?
It was the Children of God for Life.
That sounds like the Westboro Baptist Church to me. Which we do not support.
So this church contracted a San Diego biotech company that listed a human embryo kidney cell produced from an aborted fetus in the 1970s in more than 70 patents related to flavor enhancers.
Wow.
So, wow, thanks to this church for outing Pepsi on using aborted human embryo kidneys.
I want to point something out. For those of you that don't know, Pepsi Cola...
It's like Soylent Green.
Pepsi Cola and Coca-Cola are one and the same. They are the same company.
And they also have a lot of little like trickle down little subsidiaries or whatever, like
7-Up, Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, like
that
those.
are supposed to be their own companies but are owned by these corporate giants.
If you look on the back of the can, it'll say like from the Coca-Cola company or
bottled by the Coca-Cola company,
yeah.
canned by the Coca-Cola company.
Yeah, so you think you're getting away from it. Oh, I just won't drink Pepsi. Well, no, it could be in anything.
Okay.
What they're using.
I'm practically at the end of the article, and my question is, why is there no mention of the FDA? Where is the oversight and regulation in regards to what's being put into our food supply? There's not even a mention
The FDA allows 1,000 parts per million of rat feces into the manufacturing of chocolate, I don't really trust the FDA too much.
Well, no. Of course, there has to be some, place where they draw the line in the sand, and they have to realize that no place is ever going to be 100% without
Sand still sounds better than rat feces.
But still, seriously, there was this huge amount of money from lobbying interests put into stopping scientists from using stem cells in their research to cure diseases and illnesses. And these same pro-life people were out there saying, oh, you're going to encourage poor people to have abortions, and they'll end up getting paid to have abortions so that you can have these stem cells for your research, which was obviously ludicrous.